Welcome to a panel where we talk to some of your favorite artists in the panel and industry, pick their mind a little bit, and just get to know them a little bit more. We'll start off by going down the line. My name is TJ. I am the moderator of Ask Pirate Dash, and I attempt art as well.
My name is Alex. I'm known for Choco Pony and my DeviantArt South Park Dallas, where I do tarot cards. I'm a researcher at Johns Hopkins University, so that's what I do when I'm not doing art.
I'm Heather Buckle. I work for IDW on the official My Little Pony comics as the colorist.
Oh, wait, there's a mic right here. Yeah.
I'm Leekfish, or Christina, whichever you guys prefer. I've worked for too many pony conventions doing like promotional art and all that jazz, and I've won the Wheel of Fine ongoing pony contest right now 4 times.
I applaud you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Amanda, or better known as Spitfire Art, and I used to run a Spitfire Ask blog, but I have not updated it in a while. I am Luster's Dreams. I do a dumb Philly blog called Ask Philly Twilight, and my debut art is Luster's Dreams, and I work on staff for BronyCon. Artist staff, that's it.
All right, so we'll get this show started right away. We'll start with some questions for everybody, and then when I get done with my questions, we'll turn it over to the audience, and we'll go from there. First, I just want to ask everybody, what was your first moment that you decided to pursue art as a hobby or career? What was that first realization?
I first started drawing before I could walk. My mom had a drawing table in my little nursery room, so I was drawing since as long as I've known, but I decided to actually do art as a more of a hobby when I went to Johns Hopkins University, and taking pre-med classes is very, very stressful, so I thought art was a really, really nice release for that. And ever since my dad cut me off from paying my bills, I've been selling at conventions for a living, so yeah.
Medical to art.
He means buy his art.
Go to the vendor hall and buy everything from all of us.
Yes, please.
We're all starving.
Starving artists. Seriously, we don't get food in there.
Pay a lot for like con food.
Yeah.
A little literal on the starving artist there.
Well, pretty much I've been doing art since I was like really little. I decided I wanted to do comics probably when I was in kindergarten because I started reading the Sonic the Hedgehog comics from Archie.
Yes!
So it's okay. It's worth cheering about that. And like the Archie Ninja Turtle series was also a big one.
It was a while before I actually decided that I wanted to like pursue it as more of a career path, I guess. I mean, I was mostly just doodling, just for fun and stress relief. And then in high school, I had some art teachers that were really encouraging because they were like, you have potential, like, you should try more new stuff. And so I did, and then it just sort of became my passion, and it's just what I do. I didn't draw for a really, really long time. Like I did when I was very little, and I didn't pick it up again until high school because I actually started watching My Little Pony, and I ended up getting back into that, and I had really low success with finding jobs and stuff like that. So when I found out that people really, really liked my art, I was like, okay, I'm gonna roll with this, and so I ended up taking it. Now that's all I do for a living, so I live off my art money. So yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, so it was just luck that people ended up liking my stuff enough to be able to make a career out of it.
So once again, buy all our stuff.
Buy all our stuff. I had always loved drawing. Like pretty sure as soon as I was picked up a first pencil, drawing was like the thing that I always wanted to do. It was so fun. And I do kind of still wanted to take it as a career. That's like an option right now. Because I did go to art school for, a year and a half. So it's a thing. That's a thing. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, so next up, what do you enjoy the most about doing art?
What I like is I like experimenting with different mediums that I haven't done before. I like anything from sculptures to acrylics to oils. And what I like finding about each medium is looking for things that can't be replicated in different forms. Like, for example, if I'm making a comic on Tumblr, I realize, there's some potentials for this that can't be done in a traditional comic. So I just like looking at what makes each medium unique. So it's what I like for fun.
Well, pretty much, I just really liked getting to do what I want. I mean, obviously, there's always guidance, and I always have to go by, like the colors of the ponies and, like the locations and stuff. I can't be too creative there, but for the most part, I enjoy just having control. It's like I worked customer service. I worked for Suncoast Video until they went bankrupt, and then I worked at Starbucks, and then I finally started making enough working on ponies and Ninja Turtles so that I got to finally do what I wanted. So that's kind of my favorite thing. I just like having control and not dealing with customers.
So you're making the big Starbucks now then?
Get out. Leave.
Oh gosh. Okay, so I haven't slept. I've only slept for like 4 hours. What was the question again?
What do you enjoy the most about doing art?
Okay. So I guess what I like most is there's always something new to try, and like there's never a stopping point unless you make that so, which then in which case it just gets boring. So, but I like trying out new styles and new techniques, and I try, like whenever I make a new piece, I try to find the new style that will, or coloring method that will suit it nicely. So like once a friend said, hey, you should make, a tattoo style design. And I was like, that sounds really interesting. What can I do with that? And then I made that Flutterbat design that got announced as a winner today. Whoop, whoop. I'm sorry, I'm not done tooting my own horn yet.
A few times on Twitter.
Are they gonna have to rename the site We Love Fish?
They still need to like freaking recruit me for MFA. They were like, you need to like win a contest first. So I was like, sure. And then I went 4 times. I'm like, guys, what's up?
I think my favorite part about doing art is improving. Like, I started really, really bad, and now I'm just, like, having seen my art from, like, a couple of years ago to now is, like, that is the most satisfying feeling, and I've improved, like really a lot. It's the coolest thing. So, like, there's that, and I also like drawing really pretty ladies. Pretty ladies.
Old stuff and cringe, you're doing it right.
I
Exactly.
was gonna say that's questions after to discuss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, I guess my favorite thing is what's been stated before, trying out new styles and improving. It's just really good. Seeing things and taking it and, like, making it your own, like, work it, influence, and then just taking your art and making people happy.
Yes, that too. That's important.
With colorful horses or pretty ladies.
So next up, what are your tools of the trade? What do you use to make art, no matter what medium you use? We'll start with Dream this time.
I gotta pass back the microphone. It's been difficult.
Paint tool, Sai, Master Race, and Wacom tablet. Even though mine's broken.
Driver tablet not running.
I use Paint Tool Sai, Manga Studio 5, and a Intools for Wacom tablet as well. I mostly use Photoshop CS6. I mean, other times if I'm doing traditional media, then I'll use like Prismacolor pencils and markers, and I just got Copics. Yeah, they're so nice. And I recently was surprise gifted a Wacom 13-inch Cintiq, which is, I started crying because they were like, here, you need this.
Who was this friend of
It was.
We need to be friends with that person.
Yeah, it was like to a couple of friends of mine that they like just pitched in together, and they're like, "Here, you're about to like start taking this like as a more serious career. You deserve this. You've been working so hard." And I was just like, tears.
Hold
the screen on, right?
What? Yeah. Yes. Drawing directly onto the. Or wait, you guys have to make already.
Expensive.
Yeah, it's like $1,000 or something. And it's like,
I also use an Intuos 4. For coloring, I use Photoshop CS3, and for drawing, I use Manga Studio.
For traditional, I like oil paints a lot and brush pens, and for digital, I use Paint Tool Sai, and I have a really, really small Wacom tablet. It's like, I think it's like over what, 7 years old now, and it still works.
Sapphire.
Yeah, it still works. So,
All right, so what has been your favorite piece of art to make to date? Your favorite piece?
Oh gosh.
No, it's your turn. Go.
I guess it would be the MLP tarot set, which I'm known for. I actually liked tarot before I came on to My Little Pony show, but I thought it was a good experiment to try and recreate the major arcana with tarot, and I kind of like it with like what Leakfish was talking, because you could go back at your old art and cringe. The very first piece of MLP fan art I ever did was that Derpy card, and Derpy representing the Fool, and the Fool card is the very first tarot card in the set. So to see how far I've came from Derpy to like my most recent art pieces, I really like looking back, and I decided not to change any of the old art. Even if I don't like it, I keep it the same just to show how far I've come. So that's why I enjoy it.
Well, I think my favorite thing is, well, it's always kind of changing, especially since I have to do like a few comics a month. I think right now I'm really proud of this color work I've done on the current arc in the Pony comic, just because I've gotten to do a lot more fun things with texture and lighting and color. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of like, you know, like stretch my legs and do whatever. And I've been really proud of how it's come out.
This is kind of a tough one, but I think if I really had to choose, it would probably be Fight Like a Girl, the one with Old Main Six and their like elements of harmony, because I was asked to, you know, join in on a content boost for International Women's Day, and, you know, feminist like positive messages and whatnot, and I was like, of course, and I made it, and it got so well received, and it like won in the We Love Flying contest, and I've had a lot of like girls tell me how like much it inspired them, or how much they like love it because, you know, they love seeing the message like associated as a positive thing. And oh gosh, I'm gonna start getting all sappy. God, you need to shut up. This is a really tough question, just because, like she said, it's always ever changing, because you keep doing more stuff, and it's like, man, this is great now.
And they're like all your children.
Exactly. I guess recently I'm really proud of the Pay What You Want like art pack that I did called Sweethearts. Like, I did a bunch of pinups, and it's pretty top notch, and I'm pretty proud of that. Like, I worked really hard on it, and it definitely paid off, I think. So that's probably my favorite like collection I have right now.
My favorite one to date would definitely be the most recent one I did of Twilight, Rainbowfied. I don't remember the name of it. It was called Vanilla Twilight. You want to look it up on DVD and favorite it, but promoted places. But just because it's art, the coloring style I did on that was really great. I applaud myself for that. I feel like I'm improving my coloring style. Thank you, Amanda.
All right, and finally, before we turn it over to the audience, if you have future plans and ambitions with art, what are they? What do you want to do with art in the future?
I'm actually currently working on a 22-page comic based off actually the panel I'm giving right after this one, so if you want to stick around. Ever since drawing the tarot set for the MLP tarot cards, I got really back into the history of tarot, and I noticed how each card kind of lines up perfectly with a period in human history. And it's kind of a non-pony project, but I'm working on a project that looks back at 100 years of how art has evolved, culture, comics, film. And I'm doing one page in a different style. So I'm doing one Art Deco, one in Millman style, one Art Nouveau, and it's something that I'm really enjoying, and I'm hoping to have that done by BronyCon this year. So.
Well, I guess I'm pretty much already doing what I would want to do, but I'm getting a webcomic started, so it's been something I've wanted to do for a while, and I've kind of really dragged my feet about getting started, so I'm really excited about that. It'll be cool to actually be able to write and draw something besides just coloring. As much as I love coloring, you know, like sometimes it's cool to do other things.
I've never really set my mind on anything specific, just because there's so much that I enjoy doing that I feel like I'd be happy in a number of different jobs. But I definitely want to do something probably just relating to comics and animation, like, anything involving like the planning process as far as animation goes, and not like the actual animating, because that bores me. But like I love the storyboarding process, and I love the character building process, and I love everything that like leads up to the final product. And making characters, yes. But I guess just anywhere in that general industry, as long as I can like continue to grow.
You don't want to do 800 drawings for a minute of animation.
Of course.
If I do more with art, I definitely want to. I really would love to get together with some people and work on a webcomic, like write something original and draw for that. That would be really, really spectacular. I've always wanted to do that. And also, I love character design, so I like helping people out with that. So if I could do that more, that would be top notch.
I really haven't thought about it. I mean, I know that I really want to do like children's storybooks at some point, or maybe, but that's just an idea. I do want to be like go board towards astronomy, probably like draw night sky backgrounds all day long.
You're in your night sky.
Night sky backgrounds and planets and stuff. That's my idea for now.
All right, so now I'll turn it over to you guys. If you have any questions you want to ask anybody, come up here, bow down to everyone. I'll give you the mic and to ask your question. For anyone up here, I guess technically I can answer too. So who's first? Come on.
Because we need the mic to have questions asked, because, you know, people in the back can't hear.
Recording that.
Oh.
For sure, recording purposes.
Yeah.
Here's your
Gotcha.
camera. So. Oh, thanks. Actually, the question I want to ask is, in your experience, how important is it to self-promote, to put your own name out in front of everybody else?
Do you want to start with that, Amanda?
Okay, let me tell you something about doing art as a career. As taken from somebody who's doing it now, that self-promotion and like business is more than 50% of it. Like if you don't put yourself out there, like even if your art is incredible, if you're not putting it out there, no one's gonna see it and no one's gonna get it. So I would say that is extremely important to do.
For sure, yeah. I'm very passionate about that.
No, for sure. Like I've had other artists tell me like, oh, I just feel awkward promoting my stuff, and it's like, no, that's how you get found. That's how you get work. That's like how people find you. Like I didn't win Wheel of Fine contest just, you know, by just submitting it and then not promoting it. And it's like I promote things because I'm proud of them, and like when people see you working hard to promote your stuff, that draws them to you because that gives them a reason, like, you know, to want it. If you don't believe in your own work, then why should anybody else?
Well, I've actually had success the lazy way. Well, dang it, Heather. Connections are everything to me. It's like pretty much most of the jobs I got, like in the beginning, were because I knew someone. It's like I got my in with Image because I had a friend that knew someone else that needed coloring. To get into IDW, James Stocco needed someone to flat stuff for Godzilla Half Century War. So I was like, hey, James, I'll do flats. And I was like, okay. So that's how I met Bobby Curnow. So it's definitely self-promotion is a huge part of it. And it's like, it's probably like 50% like whoring yourself out, 50% like, who you know. It's like, it's a big thing. Everything in the art industry is definitely who you know gets you into the big companies.
Yeah, like just to add to that real quick, like I noticed because I've worked for a few conventions and stuff, like the first one I approached, but then others started approaching me, and it's like because, you know, working with Sackburn Expo, then I got contacts with Equestria LA, then I got contacts with Everfree Northwest, and then I got contacts with BabsCon, and it just continues like that because you continue to, like, you gain a network and you get to know people, you go to all these events, you meet people, you talk to them, you know, have conversations, be like, oh, and then they end up being like, hey, I need somebody to do this. Would you be up for that? And then you're like, sure. And it helps a lot.
Go ahead.
Oh, no.
Listen to them because I'm very bad at self-promotion. The main reason is because I do medical research at Johns Hopkins. I get my name published in academic journals, and I'm also writing history books now, so I really can't have my name associated with fan names. And even within fandoms, like most of you will not know my South Park fan art site. I have a totally different username for all my South Park fan art, and I have a totally different username for all my Breaking Bad art, and no one fan overlaps. So I am the
challenge.
If you could find my old South Park blog and my Breaking Bad blog, then go ahead. But I am very bad at self promotion because I keep myself isolated. But if you do want to get your name out there, it's very important, I think, to have a social media account, especially Twitter now, because that's where a lot of the big names in comics are. You could talk directly to a lot of these big publishers, so it's really good just to make sure you have a strong social media presence.
Yeah. I'd also say, like, in a smaller sense about knowing people, like, I do a lot of just doing stuff for myself art-wise for money, and I know, like, knowing certain people who are also artists and really, really popular, if you're, like, on good terms with them, they will help you out when you need it, which
Like
is...
they'll reblog.
Yeah, like, I've had, like, do sketch commissions, like, on the spot because I need something, like, extra really fast, and, like, I'll have, like, one of my friends, like, reblog it, and I'm like, yes, now I have a ton of stuff, and it's
Right.
just because you know these people and you're cool with them and they want to help you out and it's nice.
Yeah.
So
Don't be a dick. It's pretty
Yeah,
much
exactly.
become a successful artist.
Exactly.
Right. Like I know one time I had a surprise medical bill that was just god awful, and so I started taking like emergency sketch commissions. And a while back I had done some art for Manda Pony because he asked for somebody to do like some Halloween artwork of his OC, and I was like, sure, I'll do that. And then of course he notices I need help and he returns the favor. We just have each other's backs. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even just about like finding who's popular, because like if you just try to like nudge up to the popular people, that people are gonna notice that, and that's not cool.
Yeah,
So
just being chill with people.
yeah,
It
just
works.
be cool.
Yeah, just be chill. You be friends with people you never expect you'd be friends
Yeah.
with.
All right, thank you. All right, who's next? Anyone got a question for all of us?
Because otherwise we're just gonna start arguing over who best pony is. Or
Oh, no.
Nobody wants to watch that.
Pirate Dash.
No.
No. Flutter Dash.
Get out. Eddie?
I had a question.
First one off.
Race.
Good choice.
What is your favorite genre in which to draw for?
Genre.
Action, cute, or if need be, if secret, etc.
Oh yeah.
Magical girls.
Damn straight.
Magical girls.
For me, definitely deconstruction. A lot of my art, not my pony art, but a lot of my non-pony art's definitely inspired by how Alan Moore basically takes a genre and basically deconstructs it to a core, even imitating the art style and storyline and certain tropes. So deconstruction is definitely my thing.
Like there's like two specific genres I really like. And they're pretty much the opposite of each other. I really like doing like dark dramatic stuff, and I also like doing really adorable cute stuff because you can't be depressed all the time. So
Balance.
yeah.
I guess I really like just fantasy styled characters and art in general. I tend to lean towards like more cute things, so like magical girls and ponies and oh god, no, evil demon, no. But yeah, so,
Contract.
no. Don't lose your head now.
I don't know what they're talking about.
I really like, okay, sorry. For stuff that I enjoy drawing, I mentioned, I love drawing pinups, so that's fun. And so there's pinups. Action's also pretty fun, and I lean a lot towards anime, so there's that. Anime is good. My eyebrow.
I'm like mostly known for drawing cute stuff. I can't draw anything without people calling it cute. But like back a few years ago, you wouldn't like have known this, but like I used to draw a lot of dark, grim, gory stuff a lot. And I still like that kind of stuff. I just don't draw it anymore. Maybe, but I like to draw and like whatever I'm feeling. I like all of the genres really. I'm magical girls.
Skullgirls.
Skullgirls, please.
All right, who's next? You had a question?
Working on it.
You?
All right, now I know this kind of differs from artist to artist, but I just have to know,
what is and I know every artist has one, but what is it that you absolutely hate to draw the most, and why?
Your OC.
Dang. You're not wrong. That's inspired.
I steal your
You just can't top that.
I'm flabbergasted. I mean, I guess if we were to try and take this question seriously, maybe.
Please take it seriously.
I mean, at least like with hands, you can be pretty expressive with it. There can be a pain in the ass to draw, but at least, they can be there. But sometimes with feet, you're like, what?
I mean, usually you just draw shoes. So I'm like, when I have to draw like toes, I'm like, I'm just gonna put socks on them.
Yeah, exactly.
3-point perspective. Screw that stuff.
Head-on perspectives I don't like that one. I'm good at the 3/4 and like profile, but like head-on, I'm just.
Like, how does
Yeah. Also, I wish I was good at it, but I'm terrible at it. Is drawing like anything mech, so like cars and stuff like that.
yeah.
Any machinery is hard. I mean, I would like to draw it, but
You can do it if you have a steel resolve.
Get out. Out.
Fired.
Out.
What do you think of that one?
Take it out of this panel.
Banned, reported,
Unfollowed, blocked, reported.
boarded. Yeah.
I've had worse happen.
DDoS.
Mine is backgrounds.
Just in general?
It depends on what the background is. If it's like a hard night sky background, it's my favorite.
walking through like
Nature,
a
city,
blizzard
etc.
and there's white stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, just-
Are we talking like anything that involves perspective?
Perspective.
Like a sense of speed, and then there has to be like, this sense of motion.
Motion, yeah, blurred lines.
Yeah.
I hate these blurred lines.
All right, who's next? Anyone else got a question?
I have a random fan art if you want to see it.
Sure.
Did you draw the panel?
I might have.
Yes! Yeah!
Oh, see it.
I'm not that skinny.
I need to take a picture of
Being
it.
nice. I think very nice.
I need a picture of it.
Actually, yeah.
Post it on Twitter.
That's so cute! Oh my god!
Anyone else have a question while we fawn over this?
We have to fight over it.
Anybody?
That's an example of self-promotion right there.
That's awesome! We're so cute!
What do you guys do when you guys get art block, or when you guys feel jealous about other art?
I want a picture though.
So what do you guys do when you get art block?
I did not draw that.
Draw more.
My brother did.
Yeah. Just keep drawing.
Yeah.
Keep drawing.
You have to. I think it was Lauren Faust who said, but you have like a certain number of bad drawings in you. You just have to get them out. So just keep on drawing and
About
drawing
10,000.
and drawing. About 10,000 bad drawings in you. So you had to get those 10,000 drawings out of the way first. So just keep on drawing and you'll be inspired. Or I just go pick up a comic from someone I admired and just look through the pages and see what they do right. So.
That's true. I love looking at like artists I really admire. I just like go through all of their stuff and I'm just like, yes, now I want to draw. I'm excited. Yeah, like looking at different techniques they try out.
Yeah,
and
that
like
too.
Listen to thrilling music.
thrilling music. Play school songs.
Really like dramatic, like night wish and stuff.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yes. Oh, I just draw cats. Cats are usually a safe bet.
Draw furries all day long.
I do draw furries.
Anyone else have a question? Anybody? I know you were working on one.
For real, play school girls though. Yeah, school girls is so inspiring.
All right. Like, I actually work with on the design team with Dream and Leakfish, and I work with Babs, and I just brought her on as my deputy for the design division because I really couldn't handle a lot of the. It's hard to balance your own creative talents when you're restricted to something. So I guess I have a question for everyone else saying, how do you keep your own sense of personality when working for a commissioner or a company that regulates?
Well, I mean, at least in my case, it really depends on the company. Hasbro's been very, very good about letting us do really pretty much anything we want. So, I mean, I get to color in whatever style works. So, for the most part, like, Hasbro's awesome to work for.
Crap, this is a tough question. Because, I mean, I guess it depends on the job, because there's sometimes, like, commissioners that have a very specific sense of what they want, and others that are just like, you know, go have fun, like, you know, roll with it.
Who's the best commissioners?
Yeah, well, actually, sometimes it can be a little difficult, because if they don't give you some sort of guidance, it can be really difficult to, like, figure out, because you want to make them happy.
Especially if it's original content. Like if it's something that's like a fan art, then it's easier to get the do whatever commission, because
Right.
you have an idea of the characters and stuff like that.
Well, like, also, because, I mean, I've done, like, a sketch commission once. Somebody asked for Twilight Sparkle and Sunset Shimmer, and I was like, okay, well, how exactly do you want this? Because that could be interpreted, like, a million different ways. Like, my initial, like, you know, knee-jerk reaction was, like, you know, I want to draw them having some sort of magic fight. But they wanted something shippy, so, you know, there's a huge difference there.
Yeah, that's something you want to mention.
Well, people do interpret characters fighting. If anime is anything to go from, it's like, these two characters tried to kill each other. It's like,
Obviously, they want to make out.
kick the crap out
Now
of
they're
her, and
in
obviously
love.
they want to slow each other.
So that's where that came from.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess it really depends. I mean, sometimes with like convention jobs, you have to follow specific like mascot designs and color aesthetic choices. And I guess it all just comes down to how you have fun with your work. I mean, I'm not really sure how else to describe it. It's just kind of like, you know, it's still coming from you, so... Coming from somebody who, like, only, whenever they draw, it's always commissions. I don't know, it's just every once in a while I get some stuff that I'm like, yeah, I love to draw this, but most of the time I just go Zen mode and just do it. Like, it doesn't even bother me anymore. Like, I mean, there are times where I'm like, oh, commissions, but when I just get to it, it's just like, it's just work, so.
How do you deal with certain guidelines of working for commissioners and stuff like that?
Oh,
And then maintaining it, yeah.
Just own it. Just go for it. That's what I do. I mean, there are sometimes, yeah, I guess it really just depends on what they're commissioning, really.
Karen does amazing work for BronyCon.
BronyCon.
She's not even going to BronyCon, so she's basically doing all this just because she likes doing it.
It's fun. It's fun.
Have them send you swag.
Oh, they will.
She'll demand it.
Could have been.
Anyone else have a question?
Well, I don't I could do something over
Best when you get like a paragraph text description.
Yeah, this one was kind of partially answered.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, but no, kind of is business related as far as, okay, you've got your art out there, people have noticed you, you're going to cons. You were talking about contacts and stuff like that. Is that pretty much how you you find out where you need to get the supplies and, you know, produce the quantity you need to bring to conventions? Like, I guess I'm curious about that step between, okay, people know me, now I'm at a con with a gigantic pile of things to sell. Like, just, is it just contacts or?
I think a lot of it is knowing your audience and knowing what people are going to want to buy. So there's like, I had to do like a huge line of prints, and I was like, okay, well, what am I going to make that people are going to want to buy? So you have to really cater to not only the people who watch you, but you're going to want to cater to as big of an audience as you can for whatever it is the convention that you're going to. So that's really important, and you have to know your limits as well. Like if you have a style that's like, I don't know, not as well developed, like you're going to be with people who have been doing this for a long time. So if it's your first convention, I'd definitely take it small, unless you have like massive, like thousands and thousands and thousands of people watching you. But you know, but you know, like if you take it small for the first time, it's definitely a safer bet, because you're not going to want to spend hundreds of dollars printing and stuff like that, and then go and then have like 10 sales. It'd be better to play it safe. It's much better to play it safe. Yeah, as somebody that was basically like invisible before they started doing conventions, definitely start small, start very small. You might not break even at first, but don't get discouraged. Or you might break even, but not by much, but it does get like, you improve, you figure out like what people like to buy. Sometimes it's hard to predict, because sometimes at some conventions, some characters will sell better than others. You also have to take into account like your competition, like who else is going to be there, what's the attendance ratio to vendors. Like, for example, like BronyCon might be the biggest pony convention, but there's 250 or however many vendors as opposed to like, that small room that we have here. So it kind of balances out.
Well, I guess pretty much what she said. Well, for me, like, I don't really have a ton of, like, since I'm a colorist, I don't really do prints. I mean, I am an artist outside of coloring, but most of what I'm known for is colors. So I don't feel comfortable selling prints of my color work unless, like, the artist is there and I'm giving them a cut of it. But I just pretty much, wherever I go, I just try to bring as much pony stuff as I can because I know what's going to sell.
Accurate.
I look at what I'm actually still new to vending. It's been only just a year since I started selling at cons, and what I did was look at what other people are selling, mostly large prints and buttons, keychains and stuff. But I realized there's many artists who do large prints and buttons, much better artists than me. So I look at things that that's unique to me, like tarot cards. I'm the only person who makes tarot cards, so I make sure I have a bunch more tarot cards than I would buttons, for example. And I think TJ actually does this. He actually looks at which guests are actually going to these conventions and make art prints for the ponies that these guests either are voice actors for, and that sometimes helps.
It usually does help, because I know I did a Zakora print and introduced it at Nightmare Nights, where her voice actress was a guest, and that one just sold like hotcakes. And I even had like a couple people come up to me and be like, hey, do you have like a Wildfire print, because Sibsy is here? And of course that one was like still not finished yet. So.
I actually have a cool story about that.
Yes, please tell us your story, because this is pretty cool.
My BronyCon story from last year. I brought a couple prints. I brought a Celestia print and a Zakora print because both of their voice actresses were going to be there. And there was a panel going on, and my friend was like, Brenda Critchlow, the voice actress for Zakora, was like looking for art of her or whatever. So I like hand him one of my Zakora prints and have him like run it up to her. And then later on, she's like, oh man, I want to meet this artist. So I got to like go up and talk to her, and she got like pictures with me and had me sign it, and it was like the coolest thing ever.
She's like the most amazing
She's so sweet. I love Brenda Critchlow. She's fantastic. But yeah, like doing stuff like that, it's pretty cool because you never know when you're gonna be like, their person's gonna find you, and then you get to meet them, and it's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, and to add what Jago said about me, I'm on the other end. I haven't found that success yet, so maybe someday. Anyone else got a question? Yes.
All right. So not too long ago, I was on the internet and I found this little site. Maybe some of you have seen it. It was called Clients from Hell, and I was just wanting. And basically, they were commissioning stuff, and they're just being impossible. I was going to ask if maybe you guys ever had to deal with a situation like that and how you dealt with it.
This is a PG panel, no swearing.
Actually, when you said that.
I actually just had a commission that was actually like this. Actually, this guy's a mutual friend of all of ours, and I think he's commissioned all of us at least once or twice. So I'm not going to name names or set. I'm not going to say what I drew, but this person he commissions a lot of artists. I think you might know who he is. But he actually commissioned me to do some coin designs for him, and he didn't give me any specific guidelines, so I just kind of went with them. And after a while, he just kept saying, well, he kept on using vague terms, saying he didn't like this, but in a vague manner, nothing concrete and specific. And then it was only later that he actually looked at Clients from Hell and realized he was like this, and actually started apologizing to me. And I actually felt bad, and I found he only commissioned me because he found out I needed rent money for the month, so he actually commissioned those commissions just for me, and I felt kind of bad. But yeah, you have to realize, if you don't understand if they're giving you something that's kind of vague, make sure to point it out. Don't let this kind of drag on and keep on redrawing until they're satisfied. Just know what they want first off, and yeah.
Or like charge them for more.
Exactly. I think that's another thing. Like, don't let if you're a commission, don't let clients take advantage of you to, well, I want this redrawn with this redrawn. What I think happens at times, they sometimes take the sketches you send them and give them to other artists just to ink over, and they're just trying to get as much free art as possible from you, which is very, very bad.
BabsCon. Well, I mean, I'm sure Choco remembers their like impossible demands of, hey, all of these upper tier like badge holders need their own custom pony badges.
Still working on 33 custom badges. I just got emailed back. What? I just want to say that I love.
They're not done yet.
As one of the con-chairs of PabsCon, I love working for PabsCon. I don't think I know PabsCon, but Leaffish can say what he wants about it.
He has to say that to save face.
No, but
I don't care.
that's why I brought her on as my deputy, because she understands the process. She understands, like, if you design a pony and it's one of the most ugliest looking ponies ever with
Golden Gates. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, I don't like that mascot.
And if they don't understand, you draw a new pony design. That's why we haven't reviewed it yet, but we're going to have a second mascot for PabsCon, and we're showing what a mascot could be, should be. So.
And I mean, also part of the problem with like Golden Gates, I'm just gonna be blunt. I mean, the person that designed her doesn't seem to take criticism very well. Which, I mean, if you're like an artist or like in a position like that, you have to think of like, you know, what's best, or maybe learn to trust your artists a little more, because sometimes your idea is not that good.
I like you.
I get really sick and tired of like putting up with crap. So like at this point, you know, working for conventions, I mean, getting comp to table really isn't that much when you think about all the work that we pour into stuff. So like when they came to me, when Choco came to me, it was like, would you be willing to do some of these badges? And I was like, I already paid off my table.
You went above and beyond what most other artists should have done. And I basically asked her, what else do you want? And I think we were asking about comp hotel rooms, and we couldn't even get comp hotel rooms.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I asked for like VIP privileges.
VIP pass, and then I basically told them, well, she did much more than normal artists, and so they basically gave her a VIP pass.
Yeah, because I mean, by the way, I use that VIP pass to get in and out of autograph sessions fast. So one, I don't have to leave my table very often, and two, because I submit a lot of stuff to charity auctions, and that stuff does better if it's signed.
That's why this year, for next year, PabsCon's probably going to have the best design team, because we have people like Leaffish and Hopefully Dream will join us later this year. We're definitely going to make sure we treat our artists with respect and actually respect their creativity.
Yeah, like, I mean, it wasn't so much like, I knew it wasn't your fault that, like, the design team was in that mess.
Badges as well, too.
Yeah, I know it wasn't your fault, so I didn't want to, like, take it out on you or anything, of course. But I said no to that because, I mean, I didn't want to get I already paid off my stuff, you know, did the work that I was comp for, like, more so, and, you know, I just said, no, you're crazy, that's, like, way too much of your artists, like, you know, I'm not like gonna use my time to basically give you free work, you know. Other clients. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
But that one is much better than the vector they had of it. Look, at least.
Okay, fun story about Golden Gates. She originated from a pony creator.
Good.
Summer, if you're listening, she's joking.
No, I'm serious.
So she's not very golden then.
A rainbow with brown.
Leave. Like, I'm sorry, like, I love BabsCon to an extent, and they've been quite nice to me, but at the same time, I'm tired of, like, just tolerating bullcrap in general from cons, and it's not just BabsCon. I've gotten crap from Everfree Northwest and Sac Bernie Expo. Like, you know, I could just spend the rest of this frickin' panel, but I won't, just, like, telling all the awful things that cons do to their artists. So that's why I'm like, appreciate your artist.
I think this is a therapy session for her.
I guess I can say one thing. Okay. About like bad clients or whatever. I've been extremely lucky, actually. I've had a few situations where, I mean, I get my commissions. I like all my information up front, so I can just start to finish, unless like somebody specifically is like, hey, I want like, you know, routine updates of your sketch, line art, etc. But most of the time I'm just like, all right, you gave me the information, it's paid for, I'm going to the end. But I had a situation where the person was like, I sent them an almost finished product and they were like, oh, well, I thought I was just, you know, gonna send you more information afterwards. And I'm just like, no, that was a bad move. But one time I had somebody who's like, okay, well, that was my fault. I didn't give you the information like up front, and I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, that's good. But I had another guy who was like, redraw the whole thing, and I'm just like, this was, yeah, he paid me a little extra, which was nice, and it was such a bad situation though, having to deal with that, like, and I spent a lot of time on it, and I was like, I have to redo everything.
Was it already completed?
No, it was really close. I had, like, the characters were done, inked, colored, like, digital painted, everything, like, so it was bad. I was okay. I was glad that they did at least compensate me a little more for that, but still, it's so stressful having to redo the same project when the commissioner does not give you, like, enough information, or the information that they intended to give you, I should say.
And a lot of times we're like booked up a lot, you know, with commissions or like a list of things that we need to get done. So having somebody tell you like do it again or like drop something like that on you just out of nowhere really screws up your schedule, and it's a nightmare to deal with.
It is.
But something I just remembered that I want to add as far as like
clients from hell go. Never be pressured to lower your prices just because somebody else thinks that you're overcharging, because I find that most artists undercharge.
For real.
Like,
Cool drawing for $15 on DeviantArt.
yeah, like, no. Like, people see these, like, DeviantArt prices, and they think that that's the standard when it's totally not. And that drives down the cost of, like, commissions for people that are trying to make a living off of it. So, I mean, I've had people scoff at my, like, commission prices when they're pretty much, like, most artists, if not, you know, almost every artist out there, undercharges at least a little. So, you want to, if you really love an artist, don't be afraid to like tip them or something, because that will probably make their day. Like, I've had somebody that does, like, that commissions me for sketches every now and then, and they'll always send me a little extra every time because they know that the work is worth it, and I always appreciate it, so I always make sure to go like above and beyond to make sure their commission is perfect.
I have regular commissioners who also will like always send me a little bit extra too, so you know that's pretty good. It's I don't know, like, definitely undercharging is a huge thing, and it kind of sucks, especially when I'll like do something like pay what you want packs and stuff like that. And I mean, I have it as an option to pay like absolutely nothing, but like sometimes people will send me like a heap load of money. That's just like, yes, this is awesome, it's the best. But after like, you know, one payment of like $20, like I'm gonna get like 100 for free. So, you know, there's that.
It's like if you're making below minimum wage, it's not worth it.
Exactly.
Because of PayPal, it takes a cut on that too.
Yeah, PayPal takes a cut too. So.
PayPal takes a cut, Square takes a cut, then there's like taxes and whatnot, so. And also you might think an artist is super popular and making tons of money, but they're probably not making nearly as much as you think.
Like at least 35% of your income goes to taxes.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
Yeah, I was just curious because I do a little acrylic painting. How much of your like time do you work on digital art as opposed to other traditional?
I used to love oil painting a lot. The only problem with oil paintings are it takes like weeks for them oil paints to dry, and months. Yeah, and like so I basically work layer at a time, and sometimes it takes a year or more just to do this. But on Psy, I could make 100 layers in like an hour. So I started switching to Psy more because I could replicate a lot of the stuff I do with oils on a digital platform. But it just it depends. Sometimes I like going to do traditional oil paintings again because it's relaxful.
Yeah, aside from like commissions at cons, I don't think I really worked traditionally since college, when it's like, I went to CCAD, which is in downtown Columbus, and freshman year they make you do like 8 different classes and like foundation, and it's like still lifes, oil painting, gouache.
Classics.
It's like whoever created gouache can go to hell, because it is the worst paint you will ever deal with. But yeah, I do all digital now.
2 words, undo button. Best friend. Yep. I mean, I mostly work digitally just because it allows me a lot more freedom with experimenting with styles, because I can be like, oh, well, how does this look? And then, oh God, it turns out horrible. I can just hit a button, undo it, fix it. You know, if you screw something up traditionally, chances are you have to start all over.
Which I'm still trying to press Control Z out of habit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just out of habit, you're like, your hand will go to like fix it, and then you're like, oh.
Have to use an eraser?
And let me mistake, I would just take the pen and just tap on the side of my paper, hoping it will just go back.
Well, on the opposite side of that, I still try to wipe off the invisible eraser shavings off my tablet. But, yeah, oh man, I totally forgot what the question was.
How much time you spend?
Okay, yeah.
Versus visual.
I literally learned how to draw completely digitally. Like, I did like a few little sketch things in the beginning, but then immediately I was like, I want a tablet because that looks cool. So I got it, and like almost everything I learned was all digital. So I'm okay with paper. Like, I usually will only go sketches and then inks sometimes, but that's it. Like, I do not try to really touch color often. I have, but you know, I'd much rather do it digitally because that's how I learned. So.
Was Wacom your favorite? I mean, not your favorite, but your first tablet?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a bamboo for my first.
Well, I've been drawing traditionally my whole life. I didn't start getting, into digital until like my first years of high school. That's when I first got my first tablet. It was like this cute little square thing. It was adorable. But there are some times when I feel like my traditional looks better than my digital and vice versa. So it all really depends on what kind of mood I'm in. So that's that. That's that. That's how I was.
All right, and we'll close it out with a little thing. Coco and I on the podcast we have a little segment called Promos and Business, where we just basically self-promo ourselves. So if everyone can go down the line and just pimp yourself.
Well, right after this panel, I'm going to be stuck here because I have another panel that I'm doing, so that's less walking for me. But I'm doing a panel called 100 Years of Narrative Art, where I track the evolution of how pop culture basically evolved, different mediums evolved and influence each other. And if you guys are interested in that, make sure to stick around. I track all the way from the writing of Peter Pan to the first airing of My Little Pony. So it's a very nice journey of the history of art.
I meant your website, but okay.
I want people to stick around for my panel. I feel bad if everyone just leaves. But my website is southparkdaoist.deviantart.com. So if you want to follow my art there.
Well, you can see most of my work in the My Little Pony comic, but I also have a DeviantArt. It's anginus@deviantart.com.
So I'm pretty much lakefish everywhere. I mean, it's always an untaken username because why the hell would anybody even come up with that? So just lakefish at DeviantArt, Twitter, Tumblr, like. Same for me, but with Spitfire Art, and it's fine like everywhere with that name. And buy my art at my table, please.
Mine's just lustrous -dreams at deviantart.com. Have the hyphen.
That's a surprise. Tumblr.com.
Shut up. This is my turn. Followed by assblog ass-villagepie.com. Or go to my art blog, Lustrous Dreams Art Mode at tumblr.com.
Lots of hyphens.
There's lots of hyphens in that one. I got tired of saying the hyphens. Sorry.
Jack hyphen.
Hyphen.
Yeah.
Hyphen.
X, uppercase X, 6, lowercase
0.
Follow me.
All right, and you can find me at askpirate-.tumblr or toonboy92484 everywhere else. So I want to thank Chaco, Heather, Leakfish, Amanda, and Dream for being fantastic panelists today. Hope you guys learned a lot. Hope you guys had fun here. Hope you learned a little bit more about art and such. I'm TJ. Other panels I'm running today, I'm with him at 10 o'clock for our seldom used podcast, and Sugar Rush at midnight. You'll have fun at that one. So thank you for coming.